kind of critical thinking that I'm going to be encouraging is very dependent on what people in communication studies call the second language. And the second language is something that I first got interested in by looking at FBI training materials. The FBI is very interested in training their agents how to read what is called the second language. And that is what you do with your body, what you do with the tone of your voice, that signals how you feel, what you're really thinking. So even though I think the FBI exaggerates how accurate their interpretation of people's behavior is, I became curious and then later figured out how to use it for friendly critical thinking. I got curious about the importance of hand gestures, for example. And I started watching the Pope, and the Pope always holds his hands like this when greeting the assembled throngs down below. And why is that? This gesture is a gesture meaning openness and a willingness to think of you, as opposed to a more perhaps militaristic second language, which would have a clenched fist, which would have, a la Mussolini, a clenched jaw facing out like this while talking to you. You might notice, if you'll look really closely, a recent president has again and again, rather than a direct glance, he has this look, because this look is a more militaristic and a more masculine look, a look of, I'm going to control you. So this second language that the FBI teaches its agents to be familiar with is one that all of us as critical thinkers and as human beings need to be aware of too. So for example, don't make slashing movements like this. These are threatening. These are offensive movements. Learn with your face the power of movable eyebrows. I would urge my students sometimes to just do mirror work for hours so that they could learn to express innocence by a raising of their eyebrows. And if you'll start looking at pictures with this second language in mind, you will notice that people who have very active eyebrows and can just elevate those eyebrows and then look at you with this face of acceptance and eagerness to hear you, those people are seen by other people as kind, as respectful, and therefore, because critical thinking is so threatening anyway, everything you can do by way of second language to make yourself more likable is an enormous plus. It's a necessary element. If you're not likable, and then you're critically thinking, that's like a double whammy. So with our face and with our tone and with our hands and our shoulders, and you'll notice, for example, when interacting with me, that there's often a forward lean. And that lean is saying, I'm really into what you're saying. I'm really interested in what you're saying. So these second language cues are essential to friendly critical thinking. They have very little to do with weaponized critical thinking.